Greetings and salutations. It's calm. It's Sunday night, 9 o'clock UK time. It can mean only one thing. It's time for the Sunday Nighter. Shall we? I think we shall. Hello, folksicles. 9 o'clock UK time, Sunday night. It's time for the Sunday Nighter, and we are in Isolation's Reach, obviously, still, because we're groundhogging. Hell yeah, I see the hell yeahs coming in. Hello, folksicles. How are we? Are we good? I don't know which is more exhausting. Yeah, a full week at the studio or a weekend with the kids. But it has been really good, to be perfectly honest. Right, now I do want to get terraining, or maybe painting, I'm not sure. I still have these skitari to paint up. So they're sitting there, and I'm wondering about my eyes, to be perfectly honest. Can my eyes do it? Come on, Mel, you're not that old yet. Notice I said yet. Dan's all spiffing. Insane's in. Hello. Right. It's a question and answer show tonight. So I really want some terrain questions. I want some terrain back in on it, if you wouldn't mind. So let's get those fired in. I don't know how many of my moderators are in. I can't see on this screen, so I have to spot them. They're not highlighted on this screen for me. So my weekend, obviously with the kids, there's been playing, cleaning, and cleaning, mainly after the kids. Actually, it's been good, to be perfectly honest. Remember that one extra thick coat? Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just Dan's in so far. Oh, yeah, Dan. Other than that, I've had a really good weekend. Been doing a little bit of work in my back passage. It's looking a little bit tidier. It's a bit wider now. I've been really going at it. Yeah, and you know, took some work and some sweat, but I've widened it up. You can get in and out, no worries at all now. You can even get a full wheelie bin up and down there, yeah, without even touching the sides. Now I think that's an impressive thing to say. Yes, it's going to be one of those nights, is it? Right. Terrain or paint? Terrain or paint? And we can do a little bit of painting. Yeah? Just while we get in the mood. I don't fancy just sitting here and talking. I'm a little bit tired, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, it's been a full weekend. And Mel's been getting up earlier and earlier. And so, you know, he's knackered. Hello, Tam. And yeah, what you call it? I don't particularly fancy a massively late night tonight. I was thinking sit down, maybe watch a film after this. To be perfectly honest, after the live show, possibly during the live show, depending on how long we keep chatting and that sort of stuff. I did buy a cheesecake for the kids. Now, neither of them wanted the strawberry cheesecake, so I've got a cheesecake that has defrosted and needs eating. Now, on a food waste issue, yeah, I think I must do the sensible thing and eat the entire strawberry cheesecake to myself tonight in bed, whilst maybe writing some words or reviewing something. Joe saying, hey, first time joining in on the chat, but I love watching your videos. I'm going to be loving making something again soon, mate. It's good to get back in the studio and that sort of stuff. Dragon or vampire? Vampire red, wasn't it? Greetings from Argentina. Hello there. You can see single life is paying off. I've got fruitcake, perfect for someone of my mentality. Can't find the question link. Where did it go? I haven't actually thrown it in, to be perfectly honest. So if you've got any questions, throw a few question marks at the front of your questions so it sticks out in my chat. We've got a nice calm chat, and so I should be able to spot them. If not, yeah, and I miss your question, wait until I'm actually looking up at the camera and I'm talking, and then throw your question in then, and then I will spot it. You know, if you're painting, you don't always spot them as they fly past. From Warwickshire. Hey, need to get back down there. What red is that you're using? I'm using Army Painter Vampire Red. It's got a touch of desaturation in it. So it's a nice deep red with a little bit of grey in it. Yeah, which works well for me. I've got my painting cup. Crack on. I'm going to crack on with some painting while we chat. So obviously I've been working on sci-fi stuff. I've been working on waterfall stuff. I've been working on cork bark, and I'm really glad that my fingers, well, the hot glue burns have stopped now. I haven't been able to get onto my phone with biometrics for about a week because I've taken the skin off that many times and blistered it that I've got no fingerprint currently. That could work for the donut idea. That was an example on how to mark it as a question. I still answered the question. See, I'm here to support you. But yeah, any terrain questions? Let's get them in, guys. If you haven't got terrain questions, life questions. Do I know the meaning of life? Yes, it's terrain. And what's your opinion on using regular styrofoam for terrain use? Well, that's a good question. EPS, I'm assuming that you're talking about. Expanded polystyrene, the white polystyrene consisting of all those little balls. Yeah, I quite like it. Yeah, I've done a lot of work with it, so I can cut it and I can sand it and I can pretty much make whatever I want out of it. I can treat it almost like XPS, almost. You know, for large scale carving and that sort of stuff. Now that being said, yeah, it can be messy if you're not used to it, that sort of stuff. Its main use, yeah, I would say, is as a substructure. So if you're going to coat it with something, or if you're going to make a cliff and you're going to use cork bark or something for the cliff face, yeah, EPS is really good. If you want precision cutting, if you want to put detail onto your foam, yeah, then you need to go for the XPS route. Martin, how are you doing? So yeah, that's my opinion. I have a ton of white stuff. That's what I call it. White stuff, green stuff, blue stuff. So, I have a ton of white stuff. I use it a lot for, like I say, substructure work. I'm very well, Martin, to be perfectly honest. Well, I'm recovering after having the children. As you do. But it's been a good weekend, mate. Plenty of little blue lights and that sort of stuff flashing around, so, you know, but where I live, that's expected. Have you tried Green Stuff World's UV resin? Looks great for water effects. I don't know if I've got some in the studio, to be truthful. I'll have to check. I know I've got some Green Stuff World stuff that I picked up at Salute. Yeah, but I picked up a load of stuff and I didn't really have a proper check of what it was. So I'm not really sure is the answer to that question, to be perfectly honest. Just let me touch that off. So, other than widening my back passage and playing with the kids, that doesn't sound right. I'll make a joke, but that one now. I've had a good weekend. I'm looking forward to getting back into the studio. The terrain is coming on nicely. I think a couple of pieces of the stage where, right, let's get some test colours on these like we were looking at. Now, I suppose we should have our Pammy chat. Mel, have your mini me's arrived yet? They're at the post office at the moment, mate, I believe. I've had a shipping notice. But I get quite a few of them because, you know, I'm not in when parcels get delivered a lot of the time. Yeah, so I assume yours are at the post office, sir. See you later, Hussein. Right, so, what did I just say? Questions? Answers? On a postcard? No, we're supposed to have our Pammy chat, aren't we? So I suppose we should. Now, is that silver that I'm painting red there? I'll paint it red anyway, and we can always paint it silver afterwards. Cool. Was trying to think of trying the small bottle first, maybe mix it in with inks for things like toxic water effects. Do you know if it can be mixed with inks? That might affect the setting. You know what I mean? If it's a UV setter. I mean, I've got UV setting glue and stuff like that, and it's fancy, but I always sort of think, well, to be truthful, it's going to do nothing that I can't do already with, you know, what I've got. Now, UV setting water effects, I can see the benefit of that, to be truthful. But from a terrain point of view, yeah, it would be a cost value, wouldn't it? Because, I mean, there's one thing UV setting water effects for bases, which is what Green Stuff World really focuses on. You know, base effects. Yeah, so I think the UV setting is very dependent on volume cost. That does look like they're plates actually and not part of the sleeve. Great. Only one way to find out. Too true. I meant to say you have a wide range of buried and full barrels on the way. All I have is damaged appearance compared to GWs, which look pristine for a battlefield. That's perfect, Dan. We'll get those on. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go down the 3D printer route. So as soon as I'm ready to launch again, and we get out of lockdown and that sort of stuff, I think that's going to be another addition to the studio. For my dirty workroom. Actually, will they be all right in somewhere that's quite dusty? That's a question. Right, that's them two done. Maybe you could use clear plastic from food packaging base, then coat it with resin. Same concept as the EPS foam for the cliff. As a core, yeah, you certainly could. I'm struggling picking up an old terrain project from a couple of years ago. I sunk a lot of time into it back then, and it sat around for so long that my skill set and tool set have increased. Right, Joe, that's actually an interesting question. How do you know when to pull the plug on an old project and start over? Joe's asking. That's a really good question, to be perfectly honest, mate. Thank you. Thank you, genuinely. Yeah, okay. Skill sets, tool sets, materials increasing over time. This can happen. I often find that over a set, doing a set, if I'm trying out a new technique or refining one, yeah, my abilities and to lay down and produce a realistic effect increase over the set. So as I get near the final pieces, yeah, there's actually a difference within a set, never mind over years. But yeah, skill creep. I often think the best way to deal with this is, yeah, when you look at old projects and you think, right, let's revisit that. I think the best thing to do is look at it as the old project as a base. Yeah, a core project that you're picking up. You haven't done it. You've picked it up. Someone's given it to you. What can you do with this? Yeah, what you need to do is get over, there's a lot of emotions tied into it, and one of the things is you don't really want to hack apart an old project because you know how much time and love went into it. You have a bit of nostalgia feeling, you don't want to disturb something that you've done in the past and stuff like that. There's a bit of doubt about, oh, if I break it anymore, will it be even, can I fix it, or will it really write the project off? I think the way I approach these things is I use them as a base. And quite often what I'll do is I'll have a look at it. I'll select elements that I really like and I want to keep. I'll select elements that are a base for something I can do better now. Maybe I want to re-roof it. And so the cardboard slats get changed for balsa wood. Maybe I want to take the trees off and replace them. Yeah. Quite often it's a good idea to like, all right, I'm going to strip it back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with a complete coat of black. Yeah. And just make it a black model again that you can build on. Those are all ways to sort of get you back in. But above all, I think what you've got to do, I mean, a lot of people when you revisit his old projects is, you can't finish it off with your new current skill sets because you know it won't look right and match. So you need to revisit the whole piece, yeah, and raise the bar. And quite often that can mean taking it back a stage or two. That's how I'd handle it, to be perfectly honest. But that's a really bloody good question. That's what I'm going to watch. I'm going to ponder over the next week or two, I think. Uh, 3D prints are great for reproducing lots of cuddly stuff. I like the 3D prints, to be perfectly honest. The resin ones are enclosed. The FDM ones will just need a dust off, buddy. Brilliant, that's fine. That's fine. Because I don't want the 3D printer in the room where I'm filming, obviously. I'm sure it'll be fine in the second studio. I can that it's quiet enough. But yeah, that'll cure resin for that. Take pictures of it to keep, US Libertarian saying. Yeah, Yeah, that sounds like a plan, mate. Wayne saying, am I okay? I am very well, sir. I'm very well. Right, I'm painting as well. And just remembering not to drink my my wash water. Dan's still pushing the 3D Pammy. Right, where's Pammy? I haven't got Pammy. Willow's taken Pammy up to a room for a teddy bear fight with me earlier. So, George is asking a question, how about repairs? Repairs aren't too much of a problem for me because I use quite a common paint and flock system. You know, I have my favourites and I have stockpiles and I've used them for a long time. I think the problem comes with with painting and repairing is matching the colours, matching the and that comes to your record keeping, you know, matching your materials and that sort of stuff. When I do big commissions, what I do is I put a repair kit with them. And what I'll do is, quite often, all the core colours I use with painting it up, I'll put in little tester pots. Yeah, a bit of the flocks and what's left over with the flock. Yeah, I'll put in a box. And I'll often send it off with the table and stuff like that. Or I did when I did commissions. And that was my way of sort of saying, all right, if you get any damage, well, you know, you're hobbyists. You know what I mean? You run shops, you run companies. Yeah, you will be able to fix it. Here are the colours you need. Yeah, so you don't need to do any colour matching. Here are the exact flocks and foliages. You have a good mixture of everything. So any patch repairs you need to do, yeah, they're all doable. And that's how I approach the repair thing. I tend to pre-prep. Because I standardise, yeah, it's a lot easier for me to bang out to repair things and repaint things and touch things up. Although as I've started to play with colours this past year, that's becoming a lot more difficult. Yeah, Joe, I know exactly what you mean with regards to that comment, mate. Exactly what you mean. But you got to look at it with fresh eyes. Use it as a base for the next step in your terrain journey. I am looking forward to kicking at Corv's butt over the table, I must admit. And it is coming together. The pieces are really starting to come together now. I haven't made much progress from when you last saw it. But the kids are coming over more now, so we've got more hobby time, me and Corbav. Willow's more into crazy than painting at the moment. Thing is, Willow, yeah, Willow does art like you wouldn't believe. Like, she's constantly doing it. So the idea of painting a model, it's just another canvas for her. But I do need to get some primed up. I'm just having to get some. Why do you go quiet when you do the what you call it? When you do something you're concentrating on. I suppose it's so you can concentrate on it, obviously. Right, naughty Pammy. I know. Joe would never strive for a perfection, as you will never finish a project. Take everything as a learning skill. Do you know what? I've had to learn to do that a lot recently. Yeah, I mean, I was always struggling, and I'm the worst for beating myself up over how good my terrain is, and it's not good enough. Yeah, and I've taken a lot of time and a lot of learning and a lot of solace, and you know what I mean? Terrain is the journey. Because at the end of the day, there's so much to learn. And if you learn all the skills and all the techniques and add all the materials and all the tools, then maybe you could turn out a perfect piece. But even I don't. And I'm nowhere near. So don't worry. Just knock out a really good piece you're happy with. What do you do if you want to make something? If you want to make something but you don't think you're good enough to do it? Well, if you want to make something but you're not good enough to do it, the first thing is to decide why you think you're not good enough to do it. What is it about that piece that you think you can't make compared to every other piece? Yeah? And then separate that element, because that's your stopping block. And just make that. Just to show yourself that you can do it. And then you'll have the confirmation, well, clearly the difficult bit. So let's take, right. I want to build 2 towers, yeah, with a waterfall. But I'm really panicking about building it because I can't do it. This is me quite a lot of the time. Yeah? Okay. I mean, genuinely, yeah. Really. Yeah. So, well, I know how to build the 2 towers. Yeah, and I know how to build the bridge. And I know how to build the hill that the water. But the waterfall, I'm not happy about the waterfall. All right. Build a couple of waterfalls. I can build waterfalls. Right, well, I know I could do that. Let's go back and build it. It's about identifying what the stopping bit is and getting over that stopping bit. And the easiest thing to do to get over like a creative stopping bit is to build it knowing full well it's just a play. Yeah, it is never going, what you are working on is never going to go anywhere. So if you see something on it and you think, oh, well, wonder what happens if I do that. You can, and if it screws it up, it doesn't matter because the chances it's going in the bin afterwards. Because it's just one element of the build, the element you're struggling with. Urtist is saying, watch it, there's also parts that you think you're good enough to build. Do those. I disagree with that comment. Yeah, no offense, Urtist. The one thing I would say personally is, if you know you can build the tower, let's say I know I can build the towers. I don't think it's wise investing time in building the towers first or as you go along. Because personally, I would feel that as like, right, I've spent the time and the effort building on the towers. I've now pressurized myself to get in the waterfall right. Yeah, which sort of puts more pressure on you. Forget the towers. You know you can build them. You'll knock them out in no time. It's the waterfall that's stressing you. Yeah? Just focus and play around with the element that's stressing you. And then build the whole bloody thing once you've got it nailed. It's tough seeing people's amazing builds sometimes, like on Instagram, and feeling like you're not good enough in building or painting. Yeah, and I have that as well. I mean, the YouTubers, there's plenty of YouTubers who knock out beautiful models and stuff like that. But when you start looking at the film industry, damn, you know. You know, you look at some of the students coming out of prop courses and the stuff they're knocking out, you're like, but remember, yeah, they're showing you the one photo out of hundreds they've taken. Yeah, in the one position where it looks really good. In the light, that looks really good. You know, don't beat yourself up too much. Yeah. Also, remember, that person is on a journey. You don't know how quickly they've gone through that journey, what resources they have at hand to help them accelerate that journey. Maybe they own a shop or own a YouTube channel, which means they have tons of bloody stuff. Maybe they've just done a degree in set design and prop making, and so they professionally know about every glue, every sprayer, every paint, and they've been taught weathering effects professionally. Yeah. Yeah, Bungus is saying I work in film. That's very right. Some sets are mind-blowing. I mean, look at the work Weta are doing. Yeah, you've got to stop beating yourself up. I did it for tons of ages. Yeah, I mean, you've got to remember, there's one thing about you not feeling confident about your work when you just, I'm the terrain tutor. My work's supposed to look good, and you're looking around, it's like, everyone I'm teaching's knocking out better stuff. Yeah, and so the way I go it is, I had to take a mentality of it. Look, I teach you guys the techniques, I teach you the ideas, I give you my insights, and I let you run with them, because you lot have all sorts of different skill sets that I have no access to, and some of them like just from left field, you know what I mean? Amazing stuff. So I tend to work, look, I know I'm not the most amazing terrain maker in the world, but I'm not a bad one. You know, I can knock out a nice set when I set my mind to it. But I tend to think it's the way I think about things, the way I can explain things, the way I encourage people to build. That's what makes me the terrain tutor. Because I'll tell you, terrain has come a long way since I started this channel. The stuff we're seeing nowadays, I mean, do you remember what it was like 7 years ago? Never beat yourself up. This is supposed to be fun. Exactly, it's a hobby. My skill set at the moment is looking out the window. To be perfectly honest, if I'm honest, yeah, I'm still enjoying my little side hobby of Amazon reviews. The photos in Amazon reviews are epic. Mirrors. Go and have a look at the photo reviews for mirrors. People go to some real effort when they know they're going to be in the outfits they put on, or don't. We all start somewhere. Actually, we all start nowhere with no skill, having no experience of picking up a brush. Yeah. And we all end up somewhere, wherever this hobby takes us. Now, whether that's a channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers who love me for, I've no idea why. Yeah. Or whether it's just knocking out, you know, really nice bits of terrain to play with the grandkids. Either way, Mel's going to be a happy boy. You know what I mean? I'm providing them with the inspiration. Yeah, I like that. Jedi Master Mel, we are his Padwans. You are. As long as we don't turn to the dark side and trying to become the Master. No, I did completely disagree. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Yeah, when I see people who become better at terrain making than me, who I've helped get there. Yeah. And it's kind of, you know that it's what I want for my children. I want my children to be better than I am. You know what I mean? And I've always wanted, when I was teaching, and I don't think I've always wanted the people I was teaching to do better than I could do. I'd make a bloody work for it, you know what I mean? You ain't getting this easy. If I earn this, you earn it. But I always wanted, you know, it was always inspire them, always push them to be better. Yeah, so when I see people who've, like, you know, started off and learned things from me and now they're knocking out brilliant stuff, that's great. I was a foundation in that. You know what I mean? That I can't tell you how much of a smile that puts on my face. I'm crazy and odd, but I also enjoy other creations. Crazy Joe saying that that statement goes for me as well. Though those horde armies are hard to start up. Yeah, yeah. I think, to be truthful, that's why I'm going for kill team at the minute. Yeah, I'm going for low model count. Because it's been a long time since I've painted. I mean, I know I've got all the sprayers and that sort of stuff, but also I like getting intimate. I mean, you guys know, don't need that. You guys know the sort of stuff that I've been doing with the terrain and how detailed it is. I'm quite weird when it comes to gaming. Here we go. Confession time. Yeah. I've often talked about how what you call it, how I don't really play D&D. Yeah. Now but I do actually dungeon master on the kids sort of dungeon saga and though, you know, various other little dungeon games we play and our homebrew ones. But the interesting thing is I'm actually quite good at narrating as they play and coming up with narration on the fly. I'm actually, the kids like it, and if the kids like their dad doing it, I've got to be half good at it. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to narrating our games on this table, because with how detailed it is and how much time me and Corbin are going to invest in it, I'll get Wills on the painting as well, because she's wicked. Yeah, she's really getting good with an airbrush now. Or what you call it. The narration for the games is going to be brilliant, talking about the squads moving through the battlefield. And because it's a single person game, I'll make sure everyone's got a name character, so someone can be diving for cover as rounds are flying round. It sounds wicked, doesn't it? But I've done it for years, you know, absolutely years. It's how I made the sort of the Hero Quest games more than a board game. So it'd be like, you know, you're approaching the door, you can hear the creak. Slowly you move up to it. Will you be caught by surprise? You know what I mean? Just the little things. It's a bit hard to narrate when you haven't got anything to actually narrate, though. You're making it up on the fly is easier when you've got the actual actions on the tabletop as inspiration. But I've got to say, we do like it. And I might film a battle report like that. Brings the whole thing to life. And I'm actually enjoying. Do you know what? This past couple of weeks, in fact, after I got over my back, because that was a git, I've got to say, yeah, things are going well. I'm enjoying it. You know, it's been ages since I've painted models, and talked about gaming, if you know what I mean. The book's been a bit consuming, and now it's wrapping up. I'm looking forward, shall we say. Right, there is tons. Actually, there's not massive of comments, so I can handle these. Let's see if we've got any more inspirational questions that I can get dug into for 5 minutes. think what we should do is we should start picking topics of the night. Do you know what I mean? And we'll just discuss that one topic. Not COVID, obviously. It's Sunday. We're taking a night off COVID, by the way. I think Sunday nights we can have our non-COVID, non-Pammy chats. Pammy is still here in spirit. Right, I looked at the things I made years ago. Things so old I don't remember how I did them. And I say to myself, I did that? I'm amazed at some of the things I made. No brag, just trying to help. No, I mean, I get this. I found some old models from I painted for when I was 16. And they've got eyes painted on them. I haven't been able to paint eyes in about 20 years. I lose almost every dice game I play. I like making teams and warbands, though. In love with the atmosphere. In which case, if I lost every if I was that bad at gaming, yeah, I would take the mentality, yeah, of becoming the cursed force. And that would be my narrative. My cursed warbands. And how the dice gods had abandoned them and cursed them. And I'd make the narrative and I'd change the models to go with their fate. Mel, you make it easier for us. Things you have learned over the years by trial and error, you help us to avoid by showing us what works and giving us all the options and things to avoid. Yeah, I do that. I'll be honest, I do that. I am watching. I've spent quite a lot of time with Court Bark recently. Yeah, so I think I do want to do a proper back to basics video on Court Bark. You know, really in-depth stuff, a proper hour-long one. I mean, that's for you hardcore Terrainiacs. Yeah, because it's only my hardcore creators who really love the back to basics stuff, because most people want to know how to build a bunker or how to build a hedge. You know, you hardcore guys, you're like, what? Mel's done a video for an hour on XPF foam. I'm nailing that, and then I'll get messages from you saying like, I watched it twice to make sure I made all my notes and stuff like that. Tonight's topic: the pros and cons of a Melkini. Let's just not. Nope, as Willow would say. Nope. No. Nope. Nope. Whole bag of nope here for you. On the one benefit of having studio lights, I don't have to worry about desk lighting anymore with these knocking it out. If I could, I would be the builder in any game I play. Yeah, know that one. Mel, do you make it easy? Have you ever thought about making your own game? No, what you call it? Play little games and make little games for the kids, but I'm not a games developer, you know, I'm a terrain maker. And that's where my joy is, you know, but I do like making little games for the kids, but the idea of making a full-on game and supporting the game and developing it, other than a novel appeal that I think we all have as wargamers, yeah, I'd much prefer a bit of like kit bashing and home brewing a few rules. You know, me and the kids, we came up with this one, Bolt Actions and Brains, yeah, which is sort of a zombie survival game, yeah, based on bolt action rules. So we do little things like that, but I don't want to develop a game. Best ultrasonic cleaner? Oh, God knows I don't use one. Actually, in the past, I've always used Kerry's ultrasonic cleaner that she uses for her tattooing. So I haven't had one. Mel, you wouldn't have been able to fund a book if we didn't believe in you, buddy. I know, Dan, I know. But we've got to get that book nailed, and it is getting finished. But let's not talk about it just yet, because it is the weekend. Are they gloves, or is that a sleeve? That's a sleeve. Sod it, paint it all red and pick out the details when your eyes can focus. Mel's gonna need glasses. I'm going to do a second coat on these anyway, so I can pick it up second time round if I've missed a couple of bits. One's done. They need to be done. Is that right? Yeah. All good. Would you say it's easier to make small parts for a diorama than large ones? Yeah, I would. Looking forward to your book, Mel. Have you got any suggestions for new or old terrain books? Oh, suggestions for new and old terrain books. The diorama one from AK Interactive is very good. Very good. It isn't here. Setting the scenes ones are very good as well, in all honesty, like Tam says. Evening to take a break from a civil war. Have fun, Dean. I was going to suggest a thong for working. Oh, do it that way. No. No thongs in my back passage, please. I love the Back to Basics series. I've learned a lot. Your PVA video was great. Ironically, that was the first video I ever did. My very first video was an hour-long video on PVA. Kind of tells you where this channel's going straight from the start. Me and my love of PVA. I have found that a change can refresh your building. For a long time I've made mainly World War II or modern conflicts. Just recently started helping grandson with 40k and now doing a Frostgrave table. It does, to be truthful. You can get pattern set in your builds, especially if you play one game. That's one of the benefits of doing the commissions and being the terrain tutor. Yeah, I have to dive into so many areas, and the cross training, yeah, brings your skill set up in your... My thing now, I would say, is it's not so much the techniques and that sort of stuff. I'm always learning new techniques, you know, and there's always great guys on YouTube that are coming up with new ones, and I'll catch up with them all eventually, because I haven't been watching YouTube terrain videos in a long time. Yeah, but a lot of my stuff where I'm focusing my energy, one is on the technical stuff to make it easier for me to make videos, because it was something I never really focused on before. Yeah, I could make videos, but I'm trying to get so I can make them quicker, cleaner, you know what I mean, and get more content out. But as an artist, I am far more interested in colour, in nature, in learning about ecology at the moment than terrain techniques. That's because I feel, yeah, I've got enough techniques now that I can represent, you know, pretty much what I want in most situations, or at least have a pretty good stab at it. Yeah, so I'm finding I'm getting better gains in my terrain making by investing in understanding what I'm making as an object, whether it be a hill, a river, a building, and also understanding basic artistic principles when it comes to light and all those sort of things. Yeah, so it's quite interesting, to be perfectly honest, guys and gals. But that's where I'm focusing on art. Because like I say, the stuff I'm learning is helping me immensely. The understanding of what I'm doing. I think the thing is with doing the book, one of the things about the book is it's forced me to cement all my knowledge, my current knowledge, on absolutely all the core stuff, all my tips, everything I know, everything I've learned, all my mistakes, or shall we say 90% of them. Yeah, because there's always that 10% that it's just too long-winded to explain, and you're going to have to learn that one from a video. Yeah, because it'll take half a page. Yeah, but 90% of them I've nailed. And so it's sort of set my knowledge at the same time, if you know what I mean. It's drawing a line in the sand of where I am, you know, with my knowledge base. And it's another thing is it causes you to revisit absolutely everything, every material, every tool you have, every type of build, and revisit every single one of those skill sets, and also document it which is like, it sets your knowledge, yeah, completely. So I feel like right now, it's like, right, terrain-wise, I know where I am terrain-wise, and I can even prove it to about 80, 90%. Here, flick, 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 that's where I am, yeah? So I was like, right, let's stop on learning the terrain techniques, because you've got a fair few, and there's still quite a lot for you to show on that count, to be perfectly honest. We haven't done deserts, we haven't, you know, we've hardly touched water stuff, loads of areas we need to delve into. Yeah. But whilst for this next little period, for, you know, over the summer and maybe up to Christmas, I'm interested in colour, I'm interested in light, I'm interested in how things grow, I'm interested in ecology, I'm interested in geology. Yeah. Because it's, I mean, after Googling weird rock formations, I realised that there's far better stuff in geology than this mind can ever come up with. Yeah? Right, I think I've lost the YouTube chat. So let me open the YouTuber. Oh, I'm still on Willow's bloody account. Yeah, no. Okay. No, I'm not trying to verify it. I'm trying to... Come on, comments. I do, yeah, I am missing the chat. It has calmed. Right, let's pull this over. Facebookers, Twitchers, the on-screen chat is yours. Takes about 15 minutes for the YouTube comments to reappear. We've been here before, people. We know the drill. This is a test of the YouTube chatting system. This is only a test. 40 to 50 minute mark. Yeah, around about that. I'll email Restream, let them know. We'll see if we can figure it out. It was your comment that did it. Yeah, I know. It's Not's fault. I can't be the only one begging to see feudal Japanese stuff. Blossoms building shrines. Would love to see your take on it. But the problem is, no, you're not the only one who's begging to see my take on blossoms and everything like that. Just like you're not the only group of people who want to see my take on 40k or my take on Frostgrave or my take on whatever the latest game coming out is. Yeah, because everyone wants inspiration on how to do their terrain. It's quite often why I like sticking to generalizations and things like that rather than game-specific terrain. Yeah. Because, you know, a tree is a tree is a tree. But yeah, we are going to have to do things like those. But people want me to do all sorts of different stuff. And I want to do all sorts of different stuff. Right now, yeah. When we get back, we'll probably be doing a bit of 40k stuff, to be truthful. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just grab a few more kits. And then everything I've learned, put in all our 40k kill team table together. Yeah. I'll put together into a series of videos. A bit like we did with High Peak Pass. Yeah, except no vlogs. Just look, here's everything I've learned from it. I mean, I know you guys have picked up a lot of tips, but there's plenty more to share. It's good to share, isn't it? Right, 3 more to go. Yes, Tom, Nottingham inspiration and technique, I think. I'm over here now, Mel. Dan Random's nipped onto Twitch. He's claimed the screen. Yeah, Martin's saying, I started scratch building buildings mainly with XPS instead of buying MDF. Learning a whole new skill set, drove the wife up the wall shaking foam bricks in a tin can with rocks to age and texture them. Oh, mate, if you think that drives the wife nuts, get yourself a rock tumbler for polishing rocks. Just get yourself a little rock tumbler. And just throw your polystyrene blocks in there with a couple of rocks and just let it do its work overnight. Joe saying, thanks again for the pointers. I've got a split, but I'm feeling encouraged to take a fresh look at that old project. Yeah, it's a base for a new one, Joe. You crack on, mate. Do something beautiful. Post it on the Terrainiacs. Link down below to that Facebook group, guys. If you're not in it, well, you ain't going to win it. And the Terrainiacs isn't about winning it anyway. Well, unless you're trying to win at terrain. Look at what you're doing there, boss. I'm working on so many different levels tonight. Right, 40k video sounds like a good idea, especially if you need to refer to something far easier to narrow down. It is, but the problem is it's easy with the larger game systems like Bolt Action 40k. But when you've got small game systems, you can end up investing, especially when they're at Kickstarter. And then when they come out at Kickstarter, the interest in them has died. So you spend an absolute age making content and it gets no views. Which is why I tend to go for more generalized videos, so they're useful for everyone. Because I'm here to help you to make your battlefield no matter. No, God, it's that long since I've said that. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to read my own banners. I believe I'm getting what's called eye strain. That's an old skill set to come back. No, we've just been quiet. Samson books, dollhouses, contractor building plans. Look for weathering magazine PDFs unscribed. Ideal making magazine, same place. Books touching history, terrain books, tons. Inspiration is everywhere, and there's so many techniques that you can pull in. Yeah. We're doing well. We are doing well, folks. I think we've got over 100 people watching, haven't we? Well, we did earlier, which was nice. Even better, dry out your dirt in your wife's best baking tray in the oven. Have you looked into any architectural design or video level game design to frame specific subjects and draw an eye to specific places? I've talked to, there was a group of, I think they were year 4 level, architect students who exhibited in the studios. They came in and brought in all their models, and I spent a good long time talking to them about concepts and that sort of stuff, just getting a vague idea. I've looked into artwork and the idea of guiding the eye and things like framing the piece and, making your eye, developing a scene that, your eye flows through the scene and that sort of stuff. But as I said, it's an area I'm developing. I'm learning. It's something that's all new to me. So when I said I was looking at artistic principles, it's that sort of stuff as well. I'm looking at the art of terrain making, not because I want to make terrain making about art, but I want to see if what I can get from it that I can easily simplify down and get over to you guys, so you can make your pieces pop a bit more, or perhaps avoid art faux pas Yeah, that we're not aware of because we just haven't done an art degree. Right, working on some 40k terrain at the present using TT Combat. Nice. I have several projects running parallel and switch between them to keep me fresh. Yeah, I've done that in the past. Mel, did you say the boy was going to collect dirty towel? The blossom trees could fit with their Japanese aesthetics. Nice try. You're as bad as my kids, trying to make it think like it's my idea. I used to hold my models the way you do. Now I have to try attaching to a pill bottle and sticky tack and GW models. Cuts down on handshakings and you get better angles. I've got one of the, well, I actually had one of the holders, the proper holders. Yeah, but Corbyn's nicked it. Yeah, so I've gone back to finger holding. Git. There's all pain boys in it. Self sun lamp bulb help with the eye strain. Thing is, I've got what you call it. I've got big studio lights here, haven't I? So it's quite bright. And also, to be perfectly honest, it's been a long day, guys. It's been a long week. It's been a long week for me. I think we're stepping it back up. Yeah. You know, after I had the back problems, it was like, right, let's get kicked properly back into work and that sort of stuff and get into the studio. And think because I've put a lot of effort into it this past week or two. Yeah, I am a little bit more tired than normal. What you call it? Not saying. What you call it? Better once modded for the painting plugs from GW. What do you mean once modded? How do you mod them? You're talking about sanding down the ridges? Or is there something else I can do to it to make it more comfortable? Hey, I could take it into my back alley. Do my painting there. I'll have to show you my back alley one night. I've gone absolutely quiet, so concentrate again. You git. How to demonetize a video instantly. How dare you? Is there a colour that you dislike painting? It's white for me. Can never make it look good. I'm not a fan of yellow. Genuinely not a fan of yellow. Any other colour, happily fine. But if it's a yellow, I'll look at all my yellows, and I have a big collection of them because I have issues with yellows. Yes, I've got a lot of different brands as I've been hunting for the right yellow. Yeah, and you know, the moment I look at the yellows, it's like, yeah, you're not going to enjoy this boss. Just do it. The client, the subs, the patrons, they'll be happy with it. Just hide your dislike of yellow. Yellow is best applied over a warm brown base. It's actually best applied over purple, according to our mate Fred. You know, the fine art lecturer from Staffordshire University. I've learned a lot from Fred. Yeah. Wine corks work well for model holding. Just getting enough of together is the fun part. Indeed. James is saying yellow as well. No Imperial Fist for you? Oh, hell no. No. You need to try a Goober Town Hobbies trick for yellow. A pink undercoat and spraying it on. Add magnets to the top for added use. Holes, wires to attach smaller bits. Connect a screw to the base to allow attachment to a tripod or mic arm. Nah, that sounds. I'm just happy with the plug, mate. That sounds taking. That's taking a little, a little bit of back alley fun to a whole new level. There's clubs and proper venues that you can go to and meet people who are into drilling holes into you and plugging wires and extending and magnets and attachments. I just wanted a simple painting holding thing. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit adventurous, but that's a whole new level, dude. Sounds like you need an outfit and everything for going down that line, not? Yeah, everyone but Odin. Has Fred ever worked with army painter Blade Bond? That damn yellow is more transparent than a gloss varnish. It's all about the pigment content. Fred was telling me something about the pigment in yellow, which is why it's crap, universally, generally. Unless it's titanium. Well, no, it's titanium yellow, is it? A pox upon the colour yellow. I believe I single coated all of these. Huzzah. Progress. Really slow progress. But that's batch painting for you. And it's been ages since I've painted, so I'm not going to beat myself up over it too badly. Or painted small stuff anyway. Like I say, I just want to get them done so I can get them on the table. Roll some dice. Like I said, one of the other things I really want to do is I want to start a gaming club. Yeah. At my house, few friends. Maybe the kids if they want to come. But roll dice regularly. Because I'm missing it. Done. Let's give that another coat. Might as well use it. Right. Gaming club at home or venue. I'm thinking of starting it off at home, to be perfectly honest, guys. Yeah. And then if I can build up enough interest, because space is limited, it's not a big house. Yeah. But if I can get enough interest, then I have got studio space. And because the studio is a charity and they do lots of stuff with the community, yeah, I'm sure I can wangle a bit more room for a bit of a gaming club and a bit of storage space and, slowly grow a club at Spode. You know what I mean? As Jace would say, the start of Melcom. But yeah, starting off at home, get a group of, I've got quite a few friends who are interested. Yeah, once lockdown's out. And so start it like that. Start it with skirmish games and campaigns. I want that. If I start a gaming club, we've got to turn around and say, okay, this year we are playing, and we are playing this campaign for the year. And we'll have a campaign map, and for that year, this is the game we play. Mainly, if you know what I mean, at the Wednesday nights. And have the story and have the movies, have the narrative develop, so if we're playing 40k or Kill Team, have a big old and mighty empires map and come up with some rules for the campaign and an actual narrative. And I'm really into that sort of stuff with my gaming. So if I can get that going with mates, you know what I mean, then it's instant jolly time. Instant jolly time. Do you still play Bolt Action? I haven't played it in a while, but Cord wants to get back into it, so we will be getting back into it. I have a feeling once we start picking up gaming again, I'll start playing a lot more. If you know what I mean. It's just difficult with lockdown. There we go. Well, I've done sleeves on them. And another coat on the coat. And they're not bad. Dan's saying he'd travel for that. Right, guys, we are... I don't know what even time. Right, we've gone past the hour. Yeah, the chat is stilled. I've had a good natter with you guys. As you can see, I've perked up a little bit. I'm in the studio tomorrow cracking on. Yeah, interesting stuff for me tomorrow, to be perfectly honest. Bottom wobble time. Yes, it does involve yellow. Yeah, so I'll be cracking on with that. Yeah, in the meantime, yeah, I'm going to leave you guys to do what you know what you should do round about now. Which is, if you've enjoyed this little chat while I'm painting, throw me some hell yes in the comments so we end on a high. Yeah, I will be back tomorrow night. Okay, doing a little bit more painting. I think this week I'm going to stop with the terrain. I'm going to just paint some models up this week while I chat with you. And then next week, because we're still going to be in lockdown, we'll do what you call it. We'll do more of our terrain, because I figure I'll be able to get some base coated by then. Yeah, so that's my battle plan. In the meantime, been cracking hanging with you this Sunday, folks. I'll see you soon. All the best, yeah? Ta-da. Good show, guys. It's a good show.